Good morning, everyone. All of you know that we were discussing the literary terms from the book A Glossary of Literary Terms by M.H. Abrams and Geoffrey Goldhoffman. Today's topic is allegory, one of the most important literary terms for the students of English literature. So, the literal meaning, that is, the dictionary meaning of allegory is a story, poem, or picture which can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one. So, the word comes via Old French and Latin from Greek allegoria. It is a portmanteau word, allegoria, of allos and agoria. Allos means other and agoria means speaking. That is, speaking of something which is not present in the presentation or in the work of art. That is, in the work of art, it is speaking something and it means something else. So this is called allegory. So let us see what is there in the literary terms, a glossary of literary terms by M.H. Abrams. According to a glossary of literary terms, it is a form of art, whether that be a picture or a story, which gives us its meaning through the use of symbols. Okay, through the use of symbols. Many people believe that it is an extended type of metaphor. Now, what is metaphor? You have to know that metaphor is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to compare. For example, metaphor means if I say my father is a lion, then it does not mean that my father is really a lion. It is just a comparison. It is just a comparison. My father is strong enough. My father has courage. My father has that particular qualities which can be considered as the qualities of a courageous person. This is why my father is compared to a lion. This is called metaphor. Metaphor is actually a kind of word or kind of phrase to attribute something or someone to mean something or someone. Okay, but in allegory it is not like that. It is quite similar, but in allegory it is not only of a word or a phrase. It is something else. It is something more. It is an extended type because it is generally a long narrative way of presentation, whether it is a poem or short story or novel or novella or drama. It may be a fable, a parable, an exemplum, anything. So it is not only a word or two words, it is something more than words. This is why it can be considered an extended type of metaphor. Okay, I think you have understood what metaphor is and how metaphor is related to allegory. Okay, so there are two different types of allegory mainly. There are many other types of allegory, but mainly we have two types only. Number one is historical and political allegory, and number two is allegory of ideas. In historical and political allegory, the historical and political characters and their actions are signified literally. That is, it is a simple type of allegory. It is uh, not dealing with it does not deal with uh, the abstract ideas or uh, a great kind of metaphor. Okay, the allegory of ideas, on the other hand, the characters in the narration represent concepts, and the whole plot allegorizes and depicts the abstract ideas using the device of personification a lot. The abstract ideas, which are not concrete ideas. The abstract ideas means which are not concrete, which cannot be seen, which cannot be experienced physically. These are abstract ideas. That is virtue. It is an abstract idea. We cannot feel it. We cannot see it. Okay, wisdom. We cannot see or feel it. Okay, so such kind of wisdom, virtue, goodness, sadness, bad, such kind of things are personified in such kind of allegory of ideas. Okay, so personification, it is another literary term. In personification, what happens? The abstract ideas or the inanimate objects are attributed with animate qualities. That is, human qualities are attributed to the inanimate objects or inanimate uh, things. For example, in the stories or in the fairy tales, in the fables or parables, the tree can also speak, the dog can also speak. Okay, the bird can also speak like the human being. So these are called the personification. So in allegory of ideas, we can see the personification. Okay, or use of multiple symbols we can see in the allegory of ideas. So some of the important examples of historical and political allegory are John Dryden's Absalom and Ahithophel in 1681. Here the biblical king that is shown represents Charles II of England. Absalom represents king's natural son, that is the Duke of Monmouth. There are several other multiple numbers of historical and political allegories, but we will not be able to discuss all of them. George Orwell's Animal Farm uh, can also be considered as uh, a historical allegory. It also can be considered as allegory of ideas. Okay, which tells the story of the group of farm animals who rebel against their human farmer, demanding the equality with man. That is, the animals in the farm are demanding the equal rights with the human beings. So such kind of things are something more than what is depicted. Okay, such kind of works are something more than what they are depicting through the literal words or literal through the words they are using in the way of explaining the things. So these are called as historical and political allegories. So some examples of allegory of ideas can also be seen. Number one, the Edmund Spenser's The Fairy Queen, 1590. Everyman, one of the most important morality plays. Bikram said the poem The Frog and the Nightingale. These are some allegory of ideas. There are many others. Lots of works are there, but we do not have much time to discuss all these things in the class now. So the major aims of allegory. Now see, the major aims of allegory are to impart moral, religious, political, and ethical values using the symbolic way of presentation. Okay, human beings need the moral value, need religious value, need political value, ethical value, and social values. And these can be taught using such kind of allegorical work of art. Okay, it may be in the form of exemplum, It may be in the form of fable, satire, poem, novel or novella, art, any kind of art. It can be a play or drama. It can be a parable. It can be proverb. Okay. So in all these forms of art, we we can attribute the qualities of allegory. Okay, what is allegory actually? Allegory is a kind of art using which we can teach the people, we can instruct the people. Okay, the main aim is to therefore instruct and please the people or the reader, where the major tools are metaphor, symbol, personification, etc. I think you have understood what allegory is. Allegory, I have given different forms of allegory. You will go through all these things, exemplum, fable. I don't have much time in this class to discuss all these things. So it is your task to find out the meanings of exemplum, fable, satire, poem. Okay. So if possible, we will take another class on these things. But for today, I think we have understood a lot. Thank you so much. We will try to understand some other literary terms in the next classes. Okay, thank you.